deep in the heart of the Saudi desert, an endless sea of trucks and construction workers are toiling away day and night, moving earth, attempting to cut a line through the Saudi desert, 170 kilometers long, 500 meters high. A revolution in city design, futuristic, running entirely on renewables and having AI systems embedded in everything imaginable. But under all that glamour and ambition lie controversy, human rights violations, deaths, and forced displacement of indigenous people. Today, we'll take a deep dive into the Saudi desert to see what's lurking at the line. We can't really discuss the line before first looking at Saudi Arabia's economy and NEOM. You see, the line is part of a series of massive construction projects that the country is undertaking, such as Oxagon, Trojena, and Sindala, as part of the NEOM project. I'm not gonna go into much detail into these projects, as I will be covering those in a separate video along with the uncompleted Jeddah Tower and other wild plans in Saudi Arabia. So hit the subscribe button to never have to miss any of our videos. Anyway, back to the line. The only real reason for these mega projects is to shift the country's economy from being solely dependent on one export, oil. Saudi Arabia has long been the largest exporter of oil, having the second largest oil reserves in the world, just after Venezuela. However, unless you've been living under a rock, there's been a lot of talk around climate change and the transition to renewable energy and more sustainable technologies. The world is slowly becoming less dependent on oil and gas, and that's a huge issue for a petrostate such as Saudi Arabia. This has eluded Saudi's Crown Prince, Mohammed bin Salman, or MBS. He is determined to diversify his kingdom's economy away from oil and into more innovative and futuristic industries, such as renewables and artificial intelligence. And that's what the line is basically all about. The city will be home to an astonishing 9 million people, which, by the way, is approximately the population of London, in a footprint of 34 square kilometers, resulting in a population density of 260,000 people per square kilometer. For comparison, if you don't know how significant that number is, the line would have 6 times the population density of Manila in Colombia, the world's most densely populated city. And I don't know about you, but I kinda like my privacy when I'm at home at least. NEOM officials state that the line will have everything you need within a 5-minute walking distance, with buildings stacked on top of each other, with amenities, shopping malls, offices, gyms close by, essentially eliminating the need for personal vehicles entirely. Designers also plan to have a high-speed train, which will allow residents to travel end to end of the line in 20 minutes. But ironically, only 4 stops along the 170 kilometer distance are planned. Looking at it from the outside, the line consists of 2 identical 1,600 foot high skyscrapers, with an outside facade entirely made of glass mirrors. We'll get into more detail about those mirrors later. The line will be fully powered by wind and solar. Some have already begun construction and will have advanced artificial intelligence integrated into everything imaginable, making the city completely digitized. Moving on to the elephant of the room, cost. You see, when Mohammed bin Salman first announced the project back in 2021, the line was estimated to come at a total price of $200 billion. But by 2024, that number has skyrocketed to almost $2 trillion. US dollars, and it's expected to keep rising. You see, the initial plan was to complete a 5-kilometer long segment by 2030, housing 1.5 million people, and the full 170 kilometers completed by 2045. And by 2023, the line had started to take shape, with an army of 2,000 trucks and 260 excavators operating around the clock, excavating and laying the foundations for the city of the future. And as of 2025, NEOM has commissioned a brand new concrete production plant dedicated solely to the line and other construction projects by NEOM, capable of producing over 20,000 cubic meters of concrete per day. So everything's going to plan, right? Well, not exactly. You see, according to articles by the Wall Street Journal and Bloomberg, plans have drastically changed, and NEOM is now aiming to complete a more modest 2.4 kilometers of the line by 2030, housing 300,000 people, less than half of the proposed initial plan. And the main cause of this? Well, money. As stated by Bloomberg, the overwhelming amount of money that these projects are costing has become a major concern within members of the Saudi government. Although Saudi Arabia aims for the line to be a carbon-neutral, futuristic city, a lot of questions arise about the reality on site. Materials such as concrete and steel, which are the basis of modern construction, are extremely carbon intensive to produce. A recent estimate was that the line will contribute to a total of 1.8 billion tons of CO2 emissions till completion, which is equivalent to 4 years of the UK's total emissions. Not only that, an article by the Wall Street Journal in 2024 stated that NEOM is planning to purchase 2 gas power plants to supply energy to the line construction site. And as far as I know, natural gas isn't really that renewable. Furthermore, NEOM has halted construction on its planned $1.5 billion desalination plant, which was supposed to run entirely on renewable energy. Guys, looking at these renders by NEOM, as a mechanical engineer myself, I know for a fact that the outside mirror facade along the entire length of the city will dramatically increase the desert and air temperatures, acting as a giant concentrated solar power plant. Plus the completed 500-meter tall city, which by the way is just 40 meters shy of the One World Trade Center, will heavily impact bird migration patterns. You see, the line is situated in one of the busiest bird migration routes in the world, resulting in billions of birds passing through that highway in the sky every year. And birds can't really tell the difference between the real world and what's reflected in glass. However, if you were to ask me, one of the biggest concerns must be the human rights violations associated with the line, and more broadly, Saudi Arabia in general. You see, the line and other projects by NEOM cut through the historic homeland of the Huwaitit tribe. As construction ramped up a few years ago, entire villages were wiped out, estimated at 20,000 tribe members have been forcibly removed to make way for the line and other projects. The tipping point, however, was reached back in 2020, when a tribe member was shot by Saudi officials because he refused to leave his ancestral home and village. But it didn't stop there. According to the United Nations, 3 other death sentences were issued to tribe members. And as you probably may have heard, the country more broadly has a long-standing history of human rights violations and abuses towards its migrant workers. Guys, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to hit the subscribe button. It helps us keep making videos like this for you guys to watch and learn with us. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next week. Bye!